So hello, this is Silas. I am going to talk to you about Black Panther now. I had a video before I was talking about how Black Panther is not for white people. A lot of people have seen that. If you have seen that before, you can go watch that first and you come back to this, or you just watch this. Right now, Black Panther is a movie about this hero from a country called Wakanda. Wakanda is not a real country. You will not see it on this map of Africa here, but it is supposed to be somewhere in Africa. And this is made by Marvel. Marvel Comics. They've been having many Captain America. This is like Captain Africa, Captain Wakanda. And if you actually see, Wakanda is one of the most technologically advanced countries in existence in Marvel Universe. You know, I know in that previous video I was talking about how they don't even use a real country. You know, why can't you use all these countries in Africa? You can't find one country and have the hero from there. But that is okay. Let's just talk about the movie. And I know we are in Africa, we are far away. And you have this movie about this African hero, and you release it first in United States of America and other countries. I understand maybe they have more money. You think they will watch the movie before and you will watch it more than the people here. So I understand that much. But I had not seen the movie yet. But I was on the internet, because we have some internet here. But I was on the internet and I saw this thing, and it made me say, well, no, I have to talk about this again. I have to talk about this because these people are trying to say that this movie, this Black Panther, they're saying he is alt-right. And this alt-right is tied with this Trump, with this President Trump. This is your president. I know you say he's not your president, but he is your president. I know he's not as good as this guy over here, this Barack over here, but he is your president right now. And he's a very racist man. He's a very racist man. He's talking about what kind of hole that Africa is. He's a very racist man. And people are saying, look, this movie has come out and people are embracing. It is getting good reviews. Then white people is out there. We are not racist. You are still racist. I know it is coming out now. But just like the success that Trump is having in the stock market, that success is not because of him. Those companies coming back there is not because of him. Those things started when Barack Obama was in. This movie, these people do not make movies in 1 year. These people are planning movies from years before. So this movie was being shot while Barack Hussein Obama, the world's president, Africa's gift to you after you stole people from here. It is our gift to you. African Americans say it is their... No, it is Africa's president. That man is from Kenya. He still has that blood. The part that came from United States of America was a white woman. So do not try to take Barack Obama and say it is African, it's for black people. It's for African people also. You have to share that, because that black part of him, that black seed, it comes from a black Luo man. And those Luos, I know me, I'm not Luo, but those Luos, then they have that strong seed. So that is the part that makes him Black American, African American. So he's also our president. But anyway, let me read this for you. I put it on the screen with these technologies that we have. I know it is not Wakanda, but we also have some technologies. I can know some technologies here and use, and I will put this picture on the screen while I am reading here. So here, Black Panther is alt-right. And then they have Make Wakanda Great Again. And these people don't even have creativity. Make Wakanda Great Again. This thing of Trump, Make America Great Again. He's stealing this. As we are here in Kenya, sawa. Send all Wazungus away. That is, Wazungus, for you people don't know, is white people in Swahili. Send all Wazungus away. Save all Wakandas always. That is how it is. Not this that he make Wakanda great again. These people don't even have creativity. Anyway, so Black Panther is alt-right. They say it's anti-immigration. Yes. Wakanda, they say they don't want other people in there. Isolationist. Yes, Wakanda is hiding. Pro-wall. Wakanda hides behind this super technology wall. You cannot even see it. You cannot even find it. I know they insult Africa. They say the dark continent. No, sometimes we want to be hiding. Sometimes we want to be incognito. We want to be hiding. We don't want to be found by you white people. We have seen what has happened when white people find us. They take our things, like Trump stealing this thing. This whole alt-right, alt-black. Alt-black was there long before any alt-right. Achana na hiyo. Okay. So, strict trade restrictions. Yes, we need to keep our things here. We know we have the best things. You want to come and take them. I know sometimes people say, oh, the slavery, they sent this, they took this. But no, that is different. We gave those people away. Those people were shoo. Those people were disturbing us here. We gave them away and you took them there and you took. And even look, even the ones we kicked out from here, the ones we sent away from here, those people got to America and they built that country. You built your country without the things that we were throwing away. Look at you guys. Anyway, so now ethno-nationalist, because it's just Wakandans. Yes, that is how Africa is. We love our African people. I know we have different tribes and this, but no, at the end of the day, we fight, we kill each other, we get happy, and then no, we still come and we still are together. Send all Wazungus away is the main thing. In South Africa, they are doing that now on a serious level. You should check that out. I know you are too much time on your news, on your things, but check out what is happening in South Africa. They are still doing good job down there. Okay, anti-refugee. But you know there's a lot of space, so why should the refugees come here? I know people talk about how there's this, you know, we do things big in a different way here in Africa. Here in Kenya, we had this camp. We had 2 camps, the biggest refugee camps in the world. They were here on northern Kenya. People from Somalia were coming in there. Al-Shabaab was coming into Kenya, coming into Nairobi, messing things up. And we shut them down. We shut it. And we said, phew, you go away. Send all Wakoras away also. Send all warriors away. We sent them away also. Sawa. Sawa is how we got it. Anti-democracy. Yes, I know this democracy, you know, people are saying, oh, I know you are a republic. Even though you might not understand, some people in America saying we are a democracy, more popular. I think they say mu popular vote. I don't know if it's mu or ma or ma. I don't know how you say this. Mu popular vote. Mu popular vote. You are saying that thing about Hillary Clinton, but it is not democracy. Here, even Kenya, we have republics. Republics of strong men come out there. I know Trump is trying to compete, and you are seeing that. And I know you are comparing. You're saying, oh, we are like these countries, we are like that countries, but no. You need to try and see that republic. I know you're a republic. These are things that you've also copied and we are sharing. It is not cultural appropriation, maybe cultural sharing. We are sharing some things also. And we are saying, yes, but we like those strong men. So even you are testing. I think you are testing that strong man and you are saying, oh, no, tutamtupa. No, you will not throw him. He will be there. But now the last one, traditionalists. Yes, we have many, many traditions here. Africa, we go back to the beginning of time. The first human beings, that is where we go from. But this is alt-right. I don't know so much about this alt-right. So I will go online and I will look. I will try to find and see who are these alt-right people. I go to Breitbart. I have not seen the movie yet, like I said. But let me check here. Okay, Breitbart. Because these are people defending. I hear people already talking about. So let's see here. Their blackness is mine. Woke Twitter users reveal what Black Panther means to them. So let us read this and see what people are saying about this movie. I will watch this movie. I will come back. I will give you my review. I know I will already like it. I know it is not real African country, but I saw that those people were wearing those African clothes in the premiere. They were looking sharp. Special. But anyway, let's see this. A bevy of black Twitter users, you know, they call this the black Twitter. What is this black Twitter? You know, it is not African Twitter, because I'm saying this is a different people. These are people that we threw them there, and now this black Twitter. But they don't want to check what is happening in African Twitter. They just want to check this black Twitter, but that is okay. Let's see. A bevy of black Twitter users took to social media this week to reveal what the upcoming Black Panther movie means to them through the use of hashtag what Black Panther means to me. So you see, again, they did not ask us in Africa. They asked it Black Twitter. But I guess Black Panther, I know they have turned this thing. They do not even know there is no Black Panthers here in Kenya. We have leopards. We have lions. There's that one thing I saw only in Kenya. We have these tigers. There's no tigers. There is also no Black Panthers. But that is another thing. These people just take things and they enjoy. Let them enjoy. Black Panther is now that group, that racist group that goes in there and they have the guns and they have the fist up. What is that? I mean, I know some of them came. I think they were removed from America and they were put. I think it was Angola or somewhere some years back. They were put there. So there are still some there. Those Black Panthers, maybe they are still here, but the animal. No. There is no Black Panther animal here in Africa. But there is also no Wakanda here in Africa. So maybe they're just going with that also and this together and people are just happy with that. So anyway, back to this. So this person here, Bottles Intellect, he says, Before Black Panther, I was a soul wandering the desert, deluded by mirages of white acceptance. The spiritual connection that I now feel with the African diaspora is 1,000 times stronger than any branch mimosa. I love us. African diaspora. I guess that is meaning the people who have left Africa and they are there now. You know, they say, okay, this is a diaspora. If you do not understand this word, it is the people who leave. So now he feels that with the Black Panther, they have this connection. But as I said, you will not find Wakanda here. So I do not know where this connection comes from. They do not want a connection with this. They want a connection within something imaginary. So maybe also that connection is also imaginary. Next person. D. Massa. What Black Panther means to me. The possibility of young black kids to see themselves represented as powerful, intelligent, and dynamic characters capable of anything. For something I love to finally represent people who look like me. With this person, you don't understand that here in Africa, if you look like me, somebody who is a Luo, like the father of this Barack Obama, he can look at me and say, you are not like me. You are a Luya. I can look at the president of Kenya right now, even without knowing his name, Uhuru Kenyatta there, I can say, you are Kikuyu. I look at the vice president and say, you are a Kalenjin. I look at those people running, that's the people who run the Kalenjin. They don't understand that here in Africa, people can tell how you look and they can tell you are a different person. They can tell what tribe you are from. But again, these people are talking about their own things. So NBC, Black, BLK. This movie will prove to the colonialists that if they had not interfered with Africa, we'd be so far advanced. At the Black Panther Okay. Dudes, okay, I did a lot better on this video than I did on the previous video. But I'm just going to continue reading some of these because this is some serious absurdity going on here. So right now, this thing, and I talked about in that previous video about why Black Panther is not for white people. And again, that spelling of white people is one of the greatest things I've ever seen. W-Y-P-I-P-O, white people. Great spelling. So anyway, back to this. The movie will prove colonialists that if they had not interfered with Africa, we'd be so far advanced. Let's get a check mark, guys. So I don't know, NBC Black. Is this like NBC, the news channel? There's a special Black for NBC like section? This is ridiculousness. Anyway, I need to check out NBC Black and see what it is. So these are kind of authorities on the thing. I don't know, there was kind of quote marks on this. I don't know who they're quoting on this, but this is not true. This is empirically not true when they talk about this. Okay, it's not empirically, but how do you prove this? How do you point this out and say that, yes, because colonialists took this and this, and I'll have a separate video about that. I'll just mention that here. Right now, have you guys heard of what brain drain is? If you guys haven't heard about brain drain, there's this thing where if you're saying that the best people who are coming to the United States of America, the best immigrants who are coming to the United States of America and Western Europe and places like that from other countries are the best of those people, letting go the whole like people who say like, George W. Bush literally came out and was like, he literally said, okay, paraphrasing, he literally said, I'm going to paraphrase what he said. He was talking about how you have people who are coming, immigrating, and who will be able to work in 107-degree weather, picking cotton. He literally said cotton. He could have said crops. He could have said anything else but cotton. And he was saying we don't have Americans who can do that. Like, why? That's literally an argument that the anti-abolitionists had, was who's going to pick the cotton. And literally George W. Bush is still on that. So back to that. So I know some low-income people, they say immigration is the people at the bottom, but it's also the best of the best. But with the brain drain thing, if you take the best of the best from a country, what's going to be left in that country? It's not going to be a good thing for that country. So these people who are saying, hey, it's going to prove colonialists, then shouldn't they also support that no immigration be there? So send all the people back. Because you took all these resources, you took all these black people, all these minds from Africa, and these minds from Africa are currently leaving and coming to the United States of America, coming to Europe. Then by your argument, Shouldn't you make it so those people have to go back and stay there and then make the country better? I'm personally not for that. I'm more for the removal of these borders, but you cannot have welfare states with open borders. You can't have that situation because the majority of the people who do go there end up being on welfare. Get a situation where it's like, if you can go somewhere and support yourself and live, then you can go there. I'm up for that, but that's not the current world that we live in right now. But anyway, how do you prove this? How do you prove this whole situation? And then on top of that, you look at the countries that had longer colonial times, and then you can actually see that these countries are doing better. Kenya has its issues, but it was a British colony, and it is doing better than most countries in sub-Saharan Africa. Now, it also even goes by nation to nation. Like, you see the countries that had Western European, especially Anglo-Saxon colonialism, and they're normally doing better than the other countries. So there's something to, and correlation does not always mean causation, but there is a correlation there. There is something to actually look at and say, what is it about these connections that actually did it? Was it that those countries were smarter in general, or better off, or better at picking the countries that had more resources, and then eventually those countries, once those people left, they were going to do that? But regardless, or was it because they came here and brought some kind of cultural kind of ideals and things like that, and that ended up actually making the people who were left, who picked up some of that, take that on and make something out of it? So there's things to talk about to that. But let's go back to this. So Chelsea, the Dora Milaje, Dora Milaje. That's the fighting force that Black Panther has, Chala. So he has this fighting force of all females, and that's another thing that if you guys didn't know, Muammar Gaddafi, the late dictator or president of Libya, he actually had his own fighting force of all females. Now, they didn't really end up protecting him when he met this horrific death. He was beaten in the streets. I think he was, excuse the graphic nature of this, he was sodomized with a bayonet, and he was filmed doing all this. So he had his own thing for that, and that never actually worked out. And if you look at some of the things that are happening in Libya, they were rather successful in certain ways. I know they had the dictatorship in there, but they were rather successful in certain ways, and they had some really negative things in certain ways, just like it is for pretty much every country in the world. This is the reality of what happens. So, okay, this person added that to her name. So this is what she said. What Black Panther means to me, everything. I cried when it was announced. I cried at the visuals. I cried at hashtag SDCC Marvel booth. That's San Diego Comic Con, I think. I cried in joy. Their blackness is mine. My blackness is theirs. Black Panther is a love letter, a celebration, and a victory march for the diaspora. And again, the diaspora is the people who leave Africa. I've been, I guess, considered part of the diaspora in some times because I'm in and out of the country. Once you emigrate from the country and immigrate to another country, you're considered a diaspora. So I think they said something like Nigeria has the biggest diaspora from Africa. And I think the United States of America has maybe 1% of its population living outside of the country. And that's also considered to be diaspora, where they might have dual citizenship or still just have the citizenship and then they live somewhere else. I think once you renounce citizenship and you live somewhere else automatically and you're from that place, you're no longer part of the diaspora. But anyway, back here. Finally seeing, this was Nodell Beckham. Finally seeing black people ruling their black country on their black continent, minding their black business, thriving with their black dollars and black resources. So, Nodell Beckham, you're an idiot. I'm calling you out. If anyone ever gets this to Nodell Beckham, you're an idiot. Turn on the news, go on the internet, go on Twitter, look, you have access to the internet. Go check out countries in Africa and see what's happening there. There are countries in Africa with black people. I guess this is, again, why I go back. Sorry, I keep confusing this. When they talk about black, they're not talking about Africans. Yet he's talking about Black Panther here, and he's saying these are Africans. Like a black country, because it's in Africa, on the black continent. No, first of all, if you look at Africa, look right here. Like, there's the Sahara Desert, it's like right here. All this stuff up here, Egypt, Libya, Algeria, Morocco, these places, that's the Middle East. I'm sorry. This is part of Africa. And these people here, it's not black people up here. These are Arab people. It's like Muslim parts. They're coming down here. Somalia, I'm here in Kenya, I'm like right over here. But all this stuff, this is pretty much the Middle East. Like, It's not just black people running their countries. They had this one reveal I saw of Nefertiti. I think it was Nefertiti's mom or something, or Cleopatra's mom. They did this kind of facial reconstruction with the skin tones and things. And there was I did actually follow it because it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm not even going to touch that. I'm not going to do a separate video. I'm not going to actually go into the links and things like that because I can kind of think and see what it is. But some people were like, oh my God, I can't believe she's not black African. We don't know. There was still trade coming. There was still people coming in and out here from Europe coming down to Africa. There was all kinds of stuff going on in this area. As I said, the Middle East, Arab people. There's light-skinned people. Even just here in sub-Saharan Africa, there are light-skinned, there's tribes that have lighter skin. There is a spectrum with this. Not all features are exactly the same to say, like, yes, she has to look like, I don't know, like, what's that lady, Grace Jones? She doesn't have to look like Grace Jones. Maybe I'll put a photo of Grace Jones up. Where that lady that was in the Conan the Barbarian thing, the really dark lady, she doesn't have to look like that for her to be like the queen of Africa, like in an African country, in something on the African continent. Because just as some people say, they say, oh, make America great again. It's not just America. They're saying United States of America. It's North America is Canada. It's United States of America. And I think Mexico. Is Mexico Central America? But I think Mexico is in Northern America. Then there's Central America and then there's South America. Just how there's different races and things like that that are actually of that place. There are different races, different skin tones, and different ethnicities that are in Africa. So this black country thing, black continent minding their black business, and then you have to go to an imaginary country instead of actually just looking and being concerned with what's actually happening in Africa, it's ridiculous. You're an idiot, no doubt. Let's go to Liza Sabater. What Black Panther means to me. Not even going to lie, watching a movie in a theater full of black people and no need to explain the shade or the jokes. Because there's no actual huge blaxploitation before that to after. There's no BET, there's no entire networks, entire studios. There's no Tyler Perry. There's no situations where there's entire movies catered to the black community where you can go to an entire black movie theater. There's no like stereotype of black people in movie theaters being like really annoying and not having like being like very loud and shouting at the screen. There's nothing of that. This is the first time ever that there's been a film where black people can go and sit and watch it together. Yeah, that's exactly it. Here we go with Shiel. Or Shell? Shiel? My 7-year-old grandson exclaimed, superheroes can be brown people too? Yes, they can. Yes. There's actually even a comic book industry here in Kenya with their own heroes if you want to check that out. Might try to leave some links to that. This is getting... Okay, moving on. Netya McCrae. Being able to see women and girls like myself designing the most advanced technology and weapons the world has ever seen. What Black Panther means to me. Now, in this case, there's just a lot fewer actual women, let alone women, African-American women that have come with technological advances. This is just a thing. And this whole idea that you have to see somebody else do that, that is part of why there's such a struggle with certain people to invent things. Because the action of inventing itself is being able to create something you have not seen. Create something new. Create something that you can only picture in your mind. So when you have this kind of situation where somebody is saying, them actually seeing somebody doing something they have never seen makes them able to go in the future and do something they've never seen. It's just okay. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Jazzy Jeanette. What Black Panther means to me. Finally watching all black cast being centered in blackness without being a victim to it. Moving on. Common. This is actual musician. Black Panther is so lit. Hashtag Black Panther is so lit. These students at Ron Clark Academy just found out that they're going to see Black Panther. Watch their reactions and retweet to spread the joy. So this could be a video if you guys want to check that out. Micah Burton. Seeing a whole film full of strong, powerful, educated people who look like me. not being discriminated against or mocked, no hurtful stereotypes of blacks, no ghettos or slaves or thugs, just beautiful royal kings and queens of Wakanda. Again, imaginary country. These people, Micah Burton, I'm sure this person has seen black movies before made by black people. There's been people doing it for a long time, not even talking about black exploitation with Shaft and those kind of things, but people more recently. So they must also be saying that, of course, people like Tyler Perry and people doing this stuff recently, people like Ice Cube movies and Friday was an awesome movie. Okay, although Friday, I guess, did have some stereotypes. It was in the hood. So I guess, in a way, yeah, it's good to see that. But you can also go and watch tons of movies from Africa and see this kind of stuff. But no, this is just, I don't get this. Nyasha Jr., seeing dark-skinned black women as other than angry, loud sidekick. Hashtag what Black Panther means to me. Again, what do you... How many angry black sidekicks are there? Black women? Is this? And I think this is also a problem about tokenism. Trying to put a black character in all these shows, you're going to get the situation where you've come up with a good idea for a show. It works together, and then you're like, hey, how about we make that character black? And then making that character black, shoehorning them into the show, that kind of gets to the point where they become a caricature of who that character could actually be. Instead of just them being part of the story, you start kind of throwing things at them like, oh, what's a typical black thing to do? What's going to shout black to everyone from this character? And then they do that, and then you see this kind of, I think, angry black, what? Snapping the finger in the Z, was it 3 snaps in the Z formation thing? That kind of thing. But that is also something that black women do themselves. It's not like... And I think it's not necessarily just a black women thing. It's kind of how you have homosexual people that are flamboyant. I think it's more of a put-on. They're acting gay. And then you have some black women who put that on too. They're acting black. So you get to the kind of situation where you see that. Because unless you guys want to tell me what exactly being black is. I mean, a lot of people have kind of told me like, hey, you're not black enough. Or, oh, you're this, you're that. But yeah. Anyway, moving on. So Wakandan's favorite DJ, the next person. Can you imagine being a little brown child and seeing Black Panther, only to find out that the creators look like you, that the director has the thickest Oakland accent ever, that the production was filled with black people? What Black Panther means to me. So again, they're talking about only Black Panther, the film. They're not talking about the comic book, because the comic book was actually created by Joe Kirby, and I think a bit by Stan Lee. And Joe Kirby, at the time, was about a 50-something-year-old Jewish man in New York City. And he created the character of Black Panther. And I may have mentioned before, but Black Panther actually is one of the most powerful characters. He's almost the Batman of Marvel Universe, but he also has some mystical powers and some other things to go in with like the actual history of the Black Panther, how the powers moved onto him. There's like this Black Panther spirit, the spirit of this animal that can come into him. So he can also fight on the level of like Doctor Strange and people like that. But he also has that he's just a human being at the peak, like physical condition. He has all this technology. He's super intellect. So I know there's some more recent comic books that I've seen where they're just, this social justice warrior comic book movement has this infiltration into comic books. They've kind of made the situation where someone like Riri Williams was introduced as Ironheart, the new Iron Man. And she was the third smartest person in the universe, in Marvel Universe. And they have all these kind of typical things, but that was already there with T'Challa. If these people actually understood what was happening with comic books, and that's the same, I think it's because he's from Africa. That could have been part of it. He's from Africa, so he's left out just how they'll be focusing on things. Riri is actually an African-American or black woman, young black girl, so for them it's more like, yeah, maybe they can buy into that more. But with this situation, Black Panther, they didn't realize already somebody who was the smartest, one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel Universe, that was already a black person, a black character. But hey, whatever. So, and again, can you imagine being a little brown child and seeing Black Panther? Now, ask this person. Can you imagine being a little African child and then seeing that, hey, it was actually an Oakland accent. Why didn't they have some African people make this? Why isn't this actual African people? Why are they using an imaginary country? I know you don't really care about that. I don't think it really happens. Just like I think it very infrequently happens with this thing. But hey, as I said before, you can still do these things without seeing somebody else doing it that looks like you. And I guess for some people, it's enough for them to actually do that. But hey, to each their own. Moving on. Rashida Parrish. When my 9-year-old son sat in a movie theater, shook Shook. This is shook, not shook like it was shook. Shook. Okay. When my 90-year-old son sat in the movie theater, shook seeing a black superhero on the big screen, and the emotion I feel as a lifelong superhero fan seeing the same thing at the same damn time, what Black Panther means to me. Rashida Parrish. I want to ask, where is this son's father? Why doesn't he look at his father as a superhero? Maybe you're a widower, or because 77.3% of African American black children are born out of wedlock. I would say there's a good chance that there's no father in this kid's life, which is kind of a sad thing. But if that's not the case, I know I'm just kind of assuming this. If I'm wrong, apologies to Rashida. But yes, I get that. Again, as I said, some people will see something and be like, yeah, that's me. And I get that. When people see Captain America, they feel, yes, America, F yeah, and things like that. America. People feel that. And people watch the Olympics. Right now, the Olympics is going on in Winter Olympics. And people see their teams and they feel like some connection to that. But I think that's more from nationality, from being something like, yes, it's something familiar with this country. Not necessarily that person just looks like me. Because if you have a situation where a black person has moved to China, or this happens a lot in Kenya right now, a Kenyan person will move to the Middle East, will move to some Middle Eastern Qatar or something, will move to Qatar, and he'll run in the Olympics. He'll run in the distance thing and win. When that happens, do people get excited? Mo Farah was, I think he's an Olympic champion, I think. He was Kenyan, and he moved to the UK. He moved to the United Kingdom. He moved to England. Now he runs for England. When people watch him win in the Olympics, they get excited. The English people. I know, okay, there might be some racist people like, forget this guy. I don't really care. Whatever. He's black. I don't care. He's Mo Farah. Mo Farah. What's Farah? Is that a Muslim name? Whatever. Get him out of here. But no. Kenyans don't watch him anymore and be like, yeah, he looks like us. Yeah, he's running. Yeah, that's good. No, he's from another country. If you're representing nationality, you're representing some kind of shared culture, some shared ideals, and that's something else. But when you just go like, oh, it just looks like him, then I think the kid should kind of look to more. And I understand maybe if that's as a kid, as a 9-year-old, but when you grow up, you start realizing that, hey, there's more to it than just what someone looks like. There's more to this. Okay, Boyce Watkins. Black folks will give $200 million to Disney to see this. Okay, this is switched up. Others, however, pointed out the hypocrisy of promoting the film and buying tickets and merchandise, which is produced by Disney's Marvel Studios, instead of investing money into the black community, and noted that it was absurd to praise the film for racial reasons. Okay, so there's people who are doing kind of the same thing that I'm doing in this video, where I'm kind of pointing this out. I mean, going further with the Disney thing, I don't care. Somebody makes something you like. It's the market. If you want to give them your money, give them your money. And then if they return a product that you're happy with, keep rewarding them with that kind of exchange. I have no problem with that. Two willing adults exchanging money, exchanging resources, then yeah, go for it. So, Boyce Watkins. Black folks will give $200 million to Disney to see the Black Panther. Sadly, we've never given that much money to ourselves. Okay, I think they have. I think there's, as I said, a thriving black film industry. And as I'm saying, those people can also develop the stuff to this point. There's actually been other movies. There was this one thing I saw where it was like, finally a black superhero. And with all these people here, where were y'all when Blade was out? I really liked the Blade films. I even liked Blade Trinity, where it had, Ryan Reynolds in it. I've always liked Ryan Reynolds. I liked Ryan Reynolds ever since, two guys, a girl in a pizza place. It was really funny in that show. But he was in one of the Blades. Triple H from wrestling was in there. And that's another field. WWE, that's had a lot of black superhero type characters. These characters are larger than life type things. You've had this kind of thing going on in other places, and people haven't supported that. Even Eddie Murphy, I think, had a film where he was a black superhero, and that was majority. I mean, I think that was a mostly black cast for that too. But no, these people aren't seeing this. They just focusing on this big money. So anyway. Mujahid, that's close to Mujahideen, dude. Mujahid Kobe. Guys, don't get into retarded race hype over Black Panther. Get into the hype of it hopefully actually being a good movie. And that's what I said. This movie looks good. I'm trying to watch it next week. It's not out in the theaters here again yet. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to try and watch it as soon as possible. I probably will come back with a little bit of a review of that, but it looks hot. It looks good. It looks like I'm going to enjoy it. Vegeta Sama, good name. And I think that's a chick. Vegeta Sama, that's good. Black Panther wouldn't be as popular without us black people supporting it. That's in quotation marks. And then they say, are you serious? Us regular Marvel fans would have seen it and would have been just, it would have just been, sorry. Are you serious? Us regular Marvel fans would have seen it and it would have been just as successful. What stupid shit are y'all saying? And that's true. These people are ridiculous. Dude, it's not being carried by black people. Black people are like, 11% to 13% of the population. How many of them are actually going to go and buy the tickets? It's not being carried by that. It's being carried because it looks like a fire movie. It looks like a really good movie. The Black Panther character has been done really well in the other films that he's shown up in. Marvel is just killing it on the movie game. They're just tying this whole thing together, putting things together. The Ant-Man and Wasp preview just came out. That movie snuck up on me. Ant-Man, I didn't expect it to be that good, and it was really good. Now this is coming back, and they're tying things in, and they're just doing a good job. It's a good film. Watch it. As I said, I don't care if this movie was called The White Wolf, and they did some kind of what-if universe where it just changed, where this was actually some... Instead of being in Africa, it's like this Wakanda Cove or something, and it's somewhere in like Siberia, and then everybody's white, and like Black Panther is a white wolf instead, and you have, okay, instead of a white wolf, let's say a white lion. Call it white lion, because just as there are no Black Panthers in Africa, have an animal that's not in Europe. There's like mountain lions and stuff like that. Anyway, have like a white lion or something, and then you have it be there. Or let's say have it in South America, and you have it like brown lion or something. Anyway, but if you do that whole thing, but you make the story interesting, I don't give a damn. But all black this, all black that. So, one more thing was, as I mentioned, I'm winding this down now. Thanks for watching this long video. But this next one is Twitter users freak over negative Black Panther reviews, praise film's identity politics. And back to that thing I was talking about with this alt-right thing. Black Panther technically is, if there is an alt-right because of those things, then Black Panther is alt-black. I was kind of wondering, like, what would alt-right be? What do you guys think alt-right is? And would they be an alt-black? Is someone like me alt-black because I don't really buy into what people in Black Lives Matter are saying? But I don't think so. I might not be the alt-black person. If it's alternate to what most people are saying, I know most people who vote, most black people who vote for Democrats, but I'm not... Now, policy-wise, I think most black people in general are a lot more conservative than liberals, than your average white liberal Antifa type supporter, white ally of Black Lives Matter. Now, most of them are more, it's a more religious community. I know when it comes to traditionalism, to coming to families, when you have this 77.3% single parenthood, and that's mostly single motherhood rate, that doesn't show that much traditional. But then when you come to the traditional culture might be more with polygamy, and there might be some issues with that, and some other questions with reliance on welfare. So it's a mixed up thing. But our majority of black people really supportive of what Black Lives Matter stands for? Is Black Lives Matter actually the alt-black? Are they the alternate? Just how alt-right is actually a relatively new thing. It's a small group of all white people in general. It's more to the fringe, to the right of it, to the, not extreme, I won't say extreme, but what do you define alt-right as? If you look at the percentage and you look at what we define as alt-right, what they stand for compared to the majority, then would Black Lives Matter be alt-black? At least if you look at the majority and you say black people in the world, then you'd have to say, yes, Black Lives Matter is a percentage of people in Africa. I know it's spread to Europe a bit, and there may be a few people here in Kenya or in Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, but definitely not that many in the Middle East, if any. But anyway, you get to a situation where they are actually a microcosm. They are actually a small fraction of what black people in the world, African people, sub-Saharan African people, people with darker, lot of melanin in their skin, come from the Bantu and other tribes and other, not genuses, it would be genus. I don't know what the actual term for that would be. But anyway, coming from that kind of place, they have people that are not thinking in these kind of ways that Black Lives Matter and these kind of people think. So who is alt-black? Is Black Panther alt-black? Are they alt-black? So coming back to what I was saying. So this last one, this Twitter users freaking out over negative Black Panther reviews because it had 100 rating on Rotten Tomato, and then somebody else came out and they gave a negative rating. They gave a 3 out of 5. And then people just started going at him. I don't like Birdman because I found out via Instagram that it's one of my ex-boyfriend's favorite, and this guy's reasoning for Black Panther is dumber than that. Brianna Wu, I'd send hashtag thoughts and prayers to this film critic, but didn't, quote unquote, didn't beat up enough bad guys is really a dumb reason to flunk a film. Although it is a superhero film, and that's part of one of the superhero film things, and that's kind of good. This is kind of signing up as a good thing for me. If there's not that much actual fighting, I think it's going to be good to see like the world building, because Wakanda is a rather interesting place, and want to see what they do with that. Jack Howard, the characters and story and themes are complex and fully realized, but are handled with such affection and control that you don't notice how much is happening. The world feels alive, and action is facilitating story. Its politics are bold and timely. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. So there's some good people saying things. There's different reviews. I'm going to leave links to both these articles about people talking about Black Panther. And as I mentioned, there's going to be a link to the previous video I did. And I'm going to give a review once I watch it. And I'm looking forward to it. How many of you have watched it? Let me know what you guys think about it. Let me know what you think about the reaction of it. Where does it stand on your Marvel movie kind of thing? For me, right now, I think my favorite Marvel movie is still Thor Ragnarok. It's up there. Definitely the most recent ones. That's one I watched and I was like, wow, that's amazing. And what else is up there? I don't know if the first Avengers would be up there, but I'm looking forward to this. This is looking like it might actually get up there. But yeah. So here's one not so bold prediction. The first critic to write a rotten review of Black Panther will be white. Even less bold prediction, Armand White. I guess that's the name of the guy. I don't know, David Ulrich. But yeah, chances are it's going to be white. It's been released in white countries first. There's more critics who are white because countries are better off to just have more. Jesus. Black Panther is the best Marvel movie so far, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Anyway, that's it for now. Like, share, and subscribe. I did this drawing I'm going to put up on the screen of Pink Panther as the Black Panther. It's like Pink Panther, the cartoon character, in a Black Panther suit. I posted up on my merchandise store, and that got hit with a DMCA, like copyright infringement thing by the people who own Pink Panther. I did a different one also where it's like the Pink Panther character but more dressed in black. That's probably going to get hit by one too. But anyway, you can check out the drawings. They're on there. There's other merchandise at the store. I'll try to find some other merchandise to do that's not necessarily infringing on copyrights and things like this. Even the Thor Ragnarok one, that one got taken down quick. And I really like that dough thing I did for that. But anyway, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching this video. I'm getting a Patreon up in the next couple of days and trying to figure out the tiers and things. Already opened it, just trying to understand what I'm going to be offering for that kind of thing. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the film. Thanks again for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. So one last thing. With this film, I listened to something by Shelby Steele. He was giving an interview for the Hoover Institute. Shelby Steele, Thomas Sowell, Walter Williams. I think those are people those are heroes. Those are people that you should look up to. People in the African-American community, instead of looking up at athletes, looking up at imaginary Marvel characters, looking up at musicians and things like that. Look up to these people and you can learn a lot from them. But two things. We're talking about who are these people protesting? What are they protesting? Can they articulate what they're protesting? From the NFL people to Black Lives Matter. And in most cases, they can't. Next, he was talking about how a lot of white people, there's white guilt. How he was talking about how this is a virtue signaling thing where they like, look, we like Black Panther. We like him. He's finally a black person. We're supporting. We're not racist. We're not racist. But you have to understand, for you to be called racist, for you to have that kind of fear, that means you're in a culture where that is one of the worst things that can possibly happen. Liking this film because he's black is not going to prove you're not racist. If anything, that's going to prove that you still are racial, if not outright racist, because you're treating him in a different way. Liking this film just because it's good and the people just happen to be black, that's a different thing. And I think that's how most people are. You don't need to go out there and virtue signal. You can prove from other actions and just from living it yourself that you're not racist. Saying, I like this film, hashtagging this thing, joining these kind of things, is not going to prove jack squat to actually people who it actually matters to. But yeah, that's it. Goodbye.